Welcome to my channel. This is JC Rock and Metal Reviews. My name is John. Today I'm starting a new series called The Best Albums of a Specific Year, and this will be the best albums of 1966. And this week I'll probably be doing up to 1969. So I've chosen 10 albums, mostly rock albums, some psychedelic rock, some folk rock, all pretty big names. Most of you should all know them. They're all 10 albums. They won't be in any specific order. They're kind of more or less in order of release, but just 10 albums I like a lot. So the first one is Sounds of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel, released on January 17th, 1966. This one has the big hit, The Sound of Silence, very well known. You probably know it. Disturbed did a very big cover of this. It's a group I like. They play folk rock. I actually saw them live in the mid-90s at Madison Square Garden, but really good album. It's very enjoyable. Other than the title track, it has Homeward Bound. It also has I Am a Rock. Those were some of the more well-known songs, but most of the songs are folk rock. Some of the songs are more like upbeat, but I thought it was a pretty good album. Next is Aftermath by the Rolling Stones. This one was released April 15th, 1966. Really great album, and there are two versions, the UK version and the US version. So the UK version has a Mother's Little Helper. That's one of those songs I've liked for a very long time. I remember I used to listen to it like when I was younger. It was on one of those compilation discs. And the US version had Painted Black, which is another great song. And another big song on these albums, both versions, is Under My Thumb. It's a really great one. And the track listing on both albums, not exactly the same, but mostly the same songs. I think the UK album has a few like extra songs, but really great of the early Rolling Stones albums. Probably one of the best, real nice bluesy rock, and really great album. So next I have Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys, released on May 16th, 1966. This is a band I used to listen to a lot when I was younger. I don't remember which album I had, but I had like all those like early hits, like the surfing songs and all that, and Help Me Rhonda. But this was a decent album. They kind of like change it up a little. They do more like progressive pop or psychedelic pop. Now the big songs is the one you've heard in movies is on like 51st Dates, Wouldn't It Be Nice? Another big song, God Only Knows, and a couple other really good songs. It has Sloop John B. and probably one of the better albums. So next I have Animalisms by The Animals. This is a band I recently got into. I know Aaron Multha-Alamar talks about them a lot. Really good bluesy R&B, soul. And they do play some like harder rock at times. They do use a lot of keyboards, kind of very influential band. If you like a band like The Doors. It has I Put a Spell on You by Screaming Jay Hawkins. Has a few others. This is a really cool band, and one of those bands I probably need to listen to a little bit more because I really like them. Next I have Fifth Dimension by the Byrds. Really good folk rock band from the 60s. Kind of has David Crosby, a few others. The big song on this album is 8 Miles High, probably the most recognizable song on the album, but has a couple other good ones like the title track. It has Mr. Spaceman, and this is a really good album. It's like folk rock, but they play some psychedelic rock, and this is a really good band. They've had a lot of good albums. Next is Revolver by the Beatles, probably my favorite album on the entire list. Just a really great album, and also one of my favorite Beatles albums out of all of them. And the one song I probably don't like is Yellow Submarine, but other than that, really great ones like Taxman, Eleanor Rigby, I'm Only Sleeping. That's a really cool deep cut. Got to Get You Into My Life. That's a really great song, has the horns in it. And one of my favorite songs, Tomorrow Never Knows. Really great psychedelic rock. Another album I found out watching Aaron's channel is The Psychedelic Sounds of the 13th Floor Elevators. This is their debut album. It's psychedelic garage rock. It's kind of folk rock. They're a really cool band, and they had some like minor hits. The song you might know is called You're Gonna Miss Me. Just one of those bands, maybe you know them, maybe you don't know them, but definitely recommend checking out if you do like that, like mid-60s psychedelic rock. This is a really good, underrated band. Next is the self-titled album by Buffalo Springfield, released on December 5th, 1966. And this has some big names. It has Stephen Stills. It has Neil Young. This is right before his solo career and after the CSNY albums. The biggest song is For What It's Worth. And it's a song I'm pretty sure you know. It's been played a lot. And that was actually released as a single, but it wasn't on the original pressing of the album, but they put it on like another pressing a year later. Just really good folk rock. It has Stephen Stills, Neil Young, Richie Foray. They kind of do the vocals on this album. They kind of like switch on and off with different songs. And really good stuff. If you like Neil Young, definitely check out this album. It's like really good. Next is Fresh Cream by the band Cream. This is their debut album, released on December 9th, 1966. This one had a big song called I Feel Free. And in this band, it had Ginger Baker, Jack Bruce, Eric Clapton. These are all very influential musicians in rock history. And again, this album was released in different versions. The UK version didn't have I Feel Free. The original US version had I Feel Free. The UK version had kind of like a different track listing, but another great band. It's just blues rock, very influential band. And as they started releasing more albums, they started getting more like a harder rock. But this is their debut and a really good one. The last album we're going to talk about is called A Quick One by The Who. Now, The Who is a band I like a lot. I've listened to them a lot when I was young. I've listened to a lot of their stuff like throughout the 80s, and I really should be doing more videos about The Who because this is a really great band. And this album is called A Quick One. It doesn't have a lot of like really well-known songs, but a song I like is called Boris the Spider, kind of like a strange kind of psychedelic rock song. Reminds me of like an Alice Cooper type of song, and Alice Cooper would come out like a few years later, but they also released a different version of this album called Happy Jack, and that had the song Happy Jack on it. That was kind of one of the more like well-known hits. And they also have a song called A Quick One While He's Away, which is a 9-minute long song. And this song was like the inspiration for like all their subsequent rock operas. So that is all. Let me know if there are any other albums from 1966 you like. I'll continue tomorrow with 1967, and this will be a different type of year because in 67 we have like The Doors, we have Pink Floyd, and there's some more like harder rock. And this is kind of like when we start to get like proto heavy metal coming in. So please remember, like, comment, subscribe. Check out some of my other videos. I'll stick them over here. And that is all, and I'll see you all in the next one.